Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks. It is not Tommy this time. Thank you, Tommy, once again for your stepping in to fill in my shoes. You did a very nice job. I really enjoyed it. Based on our subscription level, other people really enjoyed it. So happy that that happened. So again, vote below if Tommy does these going forward from now on because he's just better at it, right? I actually did look back at our numbers, and it was an average number of additions to the subscribers for our weekly updates here. We do seem to get a fair number on these, which is nice to know that people like this content. So let's get into it. I will be quick. I might have to stop in the middle and then do a cut and come back. I have a phone call I'm expecting, so I will do that if I have to. So let's jump in. A lot of activity this week. Not 100% sure what's going on in the market, but there are some good deals out there. As always, not financial advice. Let's start with WTR Unlimited, $43 a box, down 34%. This is an insanely low price. I am actually very, very tempted to pick up some of these because this is just so low, and these will run out eventually. I mean, they will go the way of ARK, and they will disappear, and they will jump back up, and you'll be able to double your money, is what I think will happen. Based on history of other products, I know there's a lot of them right now, but someday they will disappear. So if you have storage space, $43 a box is a killer price. Um, and the heroes in them are probably going to end up having some love in the future where you'll want these boxes too. So anyways, ARK dropped 7.3%, a little more sane at 95. So the whole market seems to be cool, or at least Unlimited. Let's see, 7% on Crew as well, down to 72. Skipping down to the cases, 10% decline on the WTR cases, $214 for a case of WTR Unlimited. Unlimited is unlimited. It is unlimited. They can keep printing it if they want. And they may as a kind of base set to go off of. But with history packs out there, I don't think they're going to go with that model. I think these will eventually run out, and that will be the end of it. This may be the last bottom hurrah for these unless the game just falls apart or something, which I just don't see that happening. The way things are going, it's looking better than ever. Interesting dynasty stuff happening. The collectibles seem to be working. 1 in 10,000 packs Marvel Emperor. Oh my god, I want that card and I'm not going to be able to get it. It's going to be so hard to get and so expensive. I just don't know what I'm going to do about that. We'll talk a little bit more about how 2.0 is shaping up, but it seems to be holding up pretty well. ARK is down 6.3%. This is the unlimited cases, down to $380. A reasonable price, a little elevated over the others, but ARK has always been a fan favorite. Cases of first edition boxes of it are up 18% at 3,450. Very interesting fact here. This jump is related to a spike in sales. I accidentally sorted by best selling in the booster box category, and this was at near the top of the first page. So a lot of sales. I was like, I don't believe it because I think Tommy's right that the algorithm's a little screwed up. Some stuff gets on there that doesn't make any sense. So I clicked in, and sure enough, they have been selling several. There was even one sub, I think 2000. We'll look at it in a second, but I believe it was sub 2000 that sold in the last few days, which is crazy. Sub 2000 for a WTR first edition box. That thing must have been banged up. But either way, that's some interesting value there. Anyhow, let's move on. Crew first edition box 400 cooling off down to 625. So anyway, sorry, I meant to mention the reason this popped up I think is because it went so low for so long. That low value or low price supply dried up and it popped up. Anyways, Crew down to 400 seems reasonable. We've been sinking for a while here, so this is a nice little cool off at the very what I would expect to be near the bottom. Might be a final capitulation. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes next week. Everfest is down 18% to 55. I would say that's a really good price, except this is like just post map, and we always have these kind of $50 boxes right after it gets out of that protected zone. So I'm not too excited about that yet. There will be volatility for a while yet, and then eventually it'll settle down into its deep lows, especially with Everfest because it's like the last of the old print style, so there's probably a lot of it out there. So I would expect this to settle pretty low for quite some time, and not be super excited about that anytime soon, but that's okay because everyone recently got their Everfest stuff, right? Uprising up 6.7%. No idea. I wonder if this is related to some of the Dynasty stuff. Drakai maybe. People want Drakai cards. I don't know. Not sure why that's up so high. 74 seems awfully high for that. Oh no, actually wait, isn't that map? I think that's close to map, isn't it? That might just be map, and this just went under for a week. Just from the end of hype season sell-off. That's probably what this is, reversion to map. Anyways, all right, moving on. First edition cases, everything stayed the same at the top ones. And then we have a 7% drop on Everfest. 7% increase on Everfest, even though we had what do we got here? This is interesting. It's completely inverted. We'll have to see what the chart looks like. That's going to be a little crazy. Cases went up. So that will be a premium on the case. So I don't think that'll help you get any sales in. But it was the opposite last week. Wow. Interesting. Did somebody listen to Tommy's not financial advice and buy out all the cases to sell boxes, and now we're seeing a reversion? Could be. It's all Tommy's fault. Just blame Tommy. That's what I do. So let's jump into the best-selling. A lot of the familiar faces here. I find one of these things more interesting than the rest. I think Wizard's going to just be baller going forward. I mean, if the Emperor's got Wizard stuff, that means we're going to get some Wizard cards. That means you're going to get some more Kano love, probably a little more Icelander love. Like, there's some good stuff coming up that's exciting. Crown of Providence, still holding up. A little sad that it's holding up. I was really hoping this would be the down trim, but I think the cold foils are just sticking in there, and we might be seeing how 2.0 plays. I may not get my discounts beyond what we're seeing. I'll give it a little while longer for it to reach capitulation. Remember, our theory is that the beginning of the next big hype phase, or I guess the release period, so the hype buy phase, so when everyone's moving capital into Dynasty, that should be the lowest level for any of the cards that are collectible of the previous set. That is my goal, and that is when I will start buying. You heard it here, well, many times actually, not just this time. Flame Scale Furnace doing the dip off, but we've seen lower prices. Doing the dip off, but we're seeing lower prices. Slow decline, so again, keep an eye on that. Command and Conquer with the Emperor's Power is probably going to stay elevated in number of sales for a while. Hopefully not the price. I imagine they've reprinted this, and this will go down. But how far down is the question. I don't know if we'll know. Let's see what the Drakai is doing in cold foil. Flat as a rock. God, this thing has held up so well. 2.0 is succeeding at least the Fable. And I think it's succeeding on a couple fronts. This is the one Tommy's like, I don't believe it. And I think I agree with him, because last sale was $8.19. So whatever their formula is for figuring out best selling, because remember, that's what we sort by you can't see it. Up the top here, we're sorting by best selling to get an idea of what the market's interested in. And I do believe these. I don't believe that. It was $8.19. That was a while ago that happened. So I'm not entirely sure on that. Here's this. I thought this was crazy bug, kind of like that. But then you click on it, and sure enough, 2 boxes sold. Oh, I'm sorry, not sub 2,000, sub 3,000, 2,800 sold. And then it was like months ago. But 2 did sell in the past couple days. So it's kind of reasonable. I wonder if it takes into account the price. So it's like value, transactions, and probably some level of speed of transactions. So like 2 in a row will probably be a bigger best selling than that's probably what it is. Something about the speed of money movement, and so that means volume of money actually has an impact. That's probably what it is, and probably why that's holding, which means this will hold here for quite some time. If this held here from something sold on was it 818, 819, something like that, 819. So let's keep an eye on that. That's an interesting factor. Maybe we can reverse engineer the formula for their best selling sorting, because that's an interesting one. Anyways, everything else is your normal characters, everything you would expect. Nothing surprising here. Interesting factoid, these cases are $389, the boxes are $101, so they hopped up a little bit. So you can buy cases and sell boxes and make a little money. Not a lot, but a little bit. Not really worth it. I'm not really tracking that stuff, but I thought I'd point that out because I did notice that. That is it on this side. Let's get back to the charts. I only have a few more minutes until my call is expected to come through. Let's get up WTR. We're seeing some jank. All right, so it's cooling off. It's basically like we had the dip, revision to the mean, so it was just like this. Basically ignore the dip. See the hump there and then a drop off. That's not unusual. We've talked about that in the past where you get the crazy volatility and then a slow drop off decline. What we'd be looking for is the J curve at the bottom if you're trying to buy WTR by the case. I don't know if we'll get that. It really depends on how that supply goes, but I will keep an eye on that because that might actually be worth holding on to a case of sealed WTR unlimited because I imagine that will be useful someday. And I do have the storage space for it. So let's see on the boxes. Yeah, we still have a premium. They dropped so low. That is such a crazy price. Not financial advice, but that is a crazy low price for something that old. ARK curling over, so let's look for it to come back to this mean. We talked about the step ladder here. Now we're losing the step ladder. So typically in a normal price function where you're seeing supply slowly dry up, markets catch up to it, you get the spike, you revert to the new future mean. Sometimes you'll get some volatility, some overselling, and then it will pop back up. Let's watch over the next couple of weeks to see if this pops back up and kind of reverts to this middle line here. If it does, then we can kind of confirm that this will be a test. I think I mentioned it back here somewhere that you'll see it drop down, sometimes even test the top like right here. That is what I said. Test this top here and bounce off of it and revert back. So we could get as low as 369 range before hopping back up to here. And that would be a strong bit of evidence that the price action will support somewhere in this range. It may end up settling in between the two. So between the 369 and call like 398 range. So that might be where it settles, is somewhere in the middle here, but that is not unusual action to see this like, okay, it's holding. Oh, no, we were wrong. That's too high. That's too ambitious. And then it drops back down to the previous high and then reverts back up. It could also fall off. That is possible, but I don't expect that with ARK. It's too loved a product. People just like to buy that stuff up. I'm not entirely sure why. It's just, Viserai? It's gotta be Viserai, right? I like ARK too. It's one of my favorite sets. I just like the art in it, honestly. Maybe that's why people buy it. Who knows? Crew, kind of settling in here to this lower level. I guess this is the cool off of the, Crew Mondo 1K phase of the markets. Again, this is all unlimited, so I guess this was overhyped as well, and we're just cooling off. Our premium has returned. Nothing too special here. Let's go on to Mon. Mon's sitting flat at 203 on the cases. And the premium is intact with $50 boxes. Or $50 per box, I guess, case divided by 4. Tales of Aria. Wait a second. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no. That's Mon, right? Oh, yeah. 50 case divided by, yeah, so you buy a case divided by 4, you make $8 a box. Yeah. So we do have a premium. Or not a premium. Arbitrage opportunity here. So $8 to $9 a box times 4. Not that much of a profit, but still, it's a thing. I read that backwards. I'm sorry. Just still getting adjusted to this time. Waking up at 4 and 5 in the morning because I'm on European time still. Isn't jet lag grand? All right, nothing interesting in Tales of Aria. It's in its phase of we have too much and there's not enough going on with it. So that's it. And Tommy said that was broken, but it's not. There's just not unlimited UPR. At least not yet. Hopefully never. All right. Let's go through. WTR, nothing. The box prices did pop up as we described. Kind of did that cool off. Went too far. Popped back up 18%. We did talk about this, how it kind of will eventually catch up to itself and then it will go back up. I do imagine that, assuming downward pressure, general markets, global situation, this will continue back down and probably hit a lower point than that at some point. Call it 6 months from now. It could be a long time, but slow decline isn't unusual in a downward pressure market like that. We had an interesting conversation in Discord about how expensive like a gold foil Crown of Providence should be. I think someone was trying to sell for $16,000. I thought that was absurd because Hearts, I believe, sell for less than that. I know Rudy bought $4,000, was it shards? So it is very possible, to get first edition cold foils for very reasonable prices. Now, granted, he, because he has a channel and everything, he gets really good prices, like 50-60%. But that's still really, it's under 10K. So I think the heart would be, call it maybe 13, 15K. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm totally wrong and a first edition cold foil heart goes for 30K or something. I don't think it does. I haven't seen one sold in a long time though, so I am very confused or uncertain about how that will look in the medium term here. But the discussion was primarily around how prize support is reprintable, right? Anything that's listed as a prize or promo or something of that nature is totally reprintable within LSS's policy, with the one exception being the gold foil tunic, which they explicitly said they're burning the rest of them, which we saw in the video, and so that supply is set at 50 units in the market, period. That's it, forever, and they did guarantee us that. They do not guarantee us that of anything else except first edition cold foils. That was the one thing that they guaranteed that for, and so anything that's a first edition cold foil will never be reprinted again as a cold foil. They promised us that. So that's where those values can be interesting and more certain than, say, prize support, which theoretically could be printed to oblivion. But the reality is, are they really going to do an extended art Crown of Providence, 6 years from now, gold foil, and put it in prize support? Probably not, right? So there'll probably be a very low pop on those two. Very reasonable assumption. Anyways, let's see. Crew sliding down, hanging low. Very nice low box price here. Nothing too much to report. Wow, $400 for a box of first edition Crew. That feels like it's worth it. Shit, that almost feels worth opening. Might have to do that. Monarch 440 for a case, 100 for a box. Another one that might be worth opening to get those cold foils if you can and you have the capital for it. Not financial advice as always. Let's see. Tales of Aria fell off a cliff, bouncing around down there post map. Nothing interesting here. Not even real arbitrage, kind of semi-arbitrage. We talked about how that ziggy zag was going to go. Nothing interesting or exciting. All right, now we're down into EVR, first edition, bouncing around, just unstable down here. I think we'll see more of this until it tightens into a channel, then gives us a floor, and then we'll probably drop off because EVR is on the second phase of map, which is 35%. I could be wrong on that. Correct me if you guys know. But it's like a 90-day and then another 90-day or something. I did look it up recently, but now I've forgotten. And then no opportunity on the boxes and cases. Uprising, just sitting flat, hanging out with map. Yeah, this was a dip below map. That's what that was. All right, so that was misreading that a little bit, and it's just someone dumped, in prep for the next. They probably had to put an order in with their distributor for a Dynasty or something like that. Needed the capital, or maybe for a Magic product, Pokemon product, whatever. So they just dumped onto the market, and that's where that happened below map, because I believe $80 is map, but it tends to float a little below. With the new prices being higher, it's going to be a little bit adjusted. We'll have to figure that one out as we go. But that is it for our market update this week. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Tell me Tommy does it better. Leave a hashtag Tommy does it better in the comments. Tommy will definitely get a kick out of that. And it's always good to bring a smile to a friend's face. So go ahead and leave him a little comment. Make him smile that he does it better. It'll make me smile. Anyways, I hope you guys are cracking packs, playing games, having fun. I've been having a blast. Fab Online is fun. Going to armories, playing in person. A lot of fun times. Good game. I mean, we are in some major fun meta right now. We're constantly talking about the shifts and what's going on. It's a great time to be playing Fab. Being a player right now is awesome. Being a collector, less so. A little less collectors. I will say one last thing for those of you that listened all the way to the end. It is interesting to see a couple of buys of WTR in the old first edition boxes. The prices, granted, were very, very low, but what that means is, or could mean, my theory is that some people are starting to pick up things that will be collectible in the long term. And the second piece of evidence, I'll switch over to it real quick. This great library. She just went out. She's gone. The library user just LL'd. Yet someone is buying them on the regular. Look at this. Look at this. On the regular. Cold foil, cold foil, cold foil. Somebody is buying these things super frequently. So we're not anywhere near buyout phase, but there's a regular purchase of this Fable. I think I don't want to get too speculative, but this, if you're a smart financial person, as I've said in the past, when markets are bleeding, when it's really bad, when everyone's down on it and poo-pooing it, that's your time to get in. And guess what we're seeing? We're seeing people purchase some of the stuff that's more collectible. You know, they're slowly acquiring positions. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if this was Rudy. I might be a little surprised, actually. But anyways, I hope you guys are having fun, cracking packs, playing games. None of this is financial advice. Enjoy the game. It's a really damn good game, and I know I am. I'm having a great time with it. So I hope you guys are having a good day out there, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.